Hey, what's up, I'm Rashad.
Madison.
This morning, what if episode number 4? What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? Whew, this was, wow, it's a rough episode. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, all the good things. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be finishing this out and starting Star Wars Visions right after this.
What do you rate it out of 5?
I give this like a 4, like a maybe 4.3.
Give it a 4.8.
Wow, you're really high on this episode.
Yeah, I actually liked it.
What you like about it?
Everything. He kind of reminded me of the villain from Aladdin.
Episode right here was really it was really sad and really dark. So this is where I guess if you had like a really younger kids, like we definitely wouldn't let Neo watch this episode. This is kind of rough. Of course, you know the premise of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, he basically is
Benedict Cumberbatch.
he is, and he does voices. He does do the voice acting as well. He's trying to, in the movie, get use of his hands, but in this one, he didn't lose his hands. Dr. Christine was in the car with him that night, and he loses her instead. So he's on this quest to get her back. This right here leads to the whole point of the entire episode. This is this point of her dying was the impetus or the launching off point where he starts to be, Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? And this brings up this whole notion, which is like the kind of like the plot device, is the absolute point. So this absolute point in this timeline is her dying, and he just doesn't want to accept that. And the plot twist is, the Ancient One essentially split him into two. So now there's two strangers. It's too strange. It's too
good and the bad.
It's too strange. Pun.
Also, got it.
In this timeline. So it's the crazy part for me was when he goes to, I guess, like the ancient library to find the lost books of Cagliostro, which is another reference to the Doctor Strange movie as well. We see him going through all these books, you know what I'm saying, and he's trying to find the power, which is another reference to Doctor Strange, how the Ancient One was drawing power from the Dark Dimension, and he had to straight up absorb power from other beings from other dimensions. And he was really out here just siphoning everybody's power. And he gets to the point where he gets enough energy to actually do the deed, but then he realizes that he has to go back and absorb the rest of himself.
Like that the guy
Obang. Which is an African name, by the way. That's my doctor.
He had 2 different eyes, 2 different eye colors, blue and brown.
Yeah, not a lot of black people with blue eyes too. Him not being able to accept, and that's like the theme of the episode, being able to accept loss and move on with life. And he wasn't about that move on. So that same arrogance and I need to fix everything because he's a doctor, that was really the driving force of him wanting to bring the love of his life back. That's what this really is about. And the fact that he was so arrogant and such a jerk, like he really never told her and express his love, that he was willing to risk it all for that. And even in the end, when he does it,
I feel like Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, like I like this episode a lot. It really made like this episode tried to make you really think about life, think about death, think about losing and loss, which has been like a really like a hallmark of the Disney Plus series. Like they've kind of interjected that into almost every series that they've had so far. and I feel like they're having a much broader and more grown up discussion about, you know, real actual issues, which is good. And I definitely was not expecting to see this in this episode, especially how he had to basically keep reliving that day, well, that night rather, over and over and over and over again, and him.
I've seen a movie like that.
And him losing every time. It's like this is like the worst version of Groundhog Day ever.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, that's an older reference. That's like kind of one of the earlier versions of an event happening repeatedly. This is with Bill Murray. It's a really good movie.
Don't know it.
It's but yeah, like it's this was a really good episode, man. It's really sad. It's kind of sad for the first thing in the morning, but it was very how can I put this, very sobering, you know, and the fact that Doctor Strange is the only person left in his universe, and he still had to watch Christine fade away, and he's in this little
vortex.
Yes, this little glass case of emotion is it's pretty sad. But yeah, definitely still a really solid episode from the gang over at Marvel. Any other anything else?
The narrator, I forgot his name. What's his name?
The Watcher?
The Watcher has a big head.
Yeah, his name is Uatu. The Watcher. Yes, Jeffrey Wright. He actually, and yeah, he even talked to him. Mm-hmm. He said, "Yeah, I know you've been in the background. I felt you. You're a God." He said, "Man, I'm not God. Neither are you." I was like, "Tag." He just left. Cool. Yeah, I definitely was. I was very surprised that he had a literal speaking role in the actual episode, because usually it's pretty like, you know,
only narrating.
Yeah. He's on the periphery and not in the actual, you know, episode. But that was good.
Why did you deduct it of 0.8 points?
I mean,
it was definitely 7. 0.7.
I mean, like for me, it was a solid episode. For me, it's just some of it. Like for me, I just didn't want to see his potential girl die like 8 times in a row. Like that was like
It wasn't that. I just didn't like the way the energy sucked into him.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, I wasn't a fan.
Again, really good episode though. Catch us Saturday vlog, next Monday 10 a.m. new pod. Still got the pod from this week. Me and Keisha talking about the grass ain't greener on the other side, and about how being in a relationship long term may be better than breaking up and, you know, trying to get out here in these streets again later on in life. But anyway, that's all we got. See you next week.